got my bachelor's in theater. I moved up to New York to be a director. I directed a couple of shows off Broadway. It went really well, and all of a sudden I figured out that it wasn't what I wanted to do.
Okay.
And so I wound up coming back here and going into producing as far as Shakespeare, going into producing Shakespeare. And that led me to working. I was working with Shakespeare Dallas, and I kind of said, I don't understand why you don't have a MySpace page. I mean, this was
prior, before all the whole social media boom hit.
Yeah, and it was like, why aren't you using this? It's free. I mean, at the time, I had no idea. Now I know it's called social media management.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was just kind of like, I don't understand why you're not doing this. And they said, could you do it for us? And I said, sure, and that's how it all kind of started.
Well, then, okay, before we get back to the music part, what is your opinion on the whole social media management and social media world that's going on right now? I mean, there's some people who look at stuff like Facebook, MySpace, Twitter as nothing but just junk, and there's other people who know how to utilize it to make money for themselves. I mean, what's your opinion on the world as it is in that area?
I think that social media has completely changed how humans interact, and it's not junk. It's not, I'm washing my cat right now. It's important. And of course, there are plenty of people who don't understand the importance, but at the same time, you know, when color came out on television, a lot of people didn't necessarily understand why they needed color. The ultimate success in social media is going to be in that this is going to allow the first daily documentation of what it's like to be a human. That's never happened before. I mean, there are a lot of bands that you are probably listening to that you wouldn't have known about if it was not for the internet.
Exactly.
Because frankly, I mean, now that I'm in radio, I completely understand how it works, and radio is really interesting. And the fact is, we just got a new case study about people's attention span when they're listening to terrestrial radio.
Yeah.
You basically have 10 minutes, and then the channel is flipped, on average. You have an average of 10 minutes, which means, financially speaking, doesn't it make sense to absolutely force in popular music into every 10 minutes? And if the most popular song in the country is by Miley Cyrus and you're a pop station, you're going to force that in as much as you possibly can, because if you have 10 minutes of somebody's attention and they hear their favorite song right now,
they're liable to listen longer.
They're going to come back to you know? And so that means taking risks in radio is going to drastically disappear. It's already not happening, but now that this has come out, there's no way.
Well, okay, let me bring that up.
Which gives the internet an opportunity.
Well, exactly, and you know, the thing is, you know, I have a friend who works here in one of the local, you know, chains for the stations, and even they, you know, the one thing I keep hearing, even just you listen to normal radio stations, you hear they're always having trouble because people aren't listening to the radio as much as they used to.
Yeah.
And now you have an online stuff like Pandora, which you get your own music stations based on your artist.
Yep.
Do you see radio? I mean, it's already challenged. It's already challenged enough whether or not it's going to survive when it comes to listening on the normal radio waves. But do you see radio dying, or do you see it just evolving to a new level on the internet, and staying around? Or?
Oh, it's evolving. It will evolve. Radio isn't going to go anywhere. It has to change. There's no question about that. They have to figure it out. I mean, we were discussing 2 months ago about how the next thing that's going to happen is we're going to basically have DVRs for the radio.
Exactly. Yeah.
And literally 2 days ago, I heard a commercial talking about some car that has, I don't know what the device is. I haven't heard of it, but it is DVR. Basically, you can pause live radio and go back to it. Like it's constantly running a hard drive and recording whatever station you're telling it to. And so with that, you're going to have to find different ways to monetize radio. Now, you know, if you look at television and you look at with the invention of DVR, their advertising prices go down because now we can skip them.
Exactly.
We're not forced into watching commercials, and so radio is going to have to adapt, but it'll always be around. I mean, it'll be around. It has to change, but it'll definitely be around. Indieverse is a great model, but I don't know if it would work for all types of music, because basically what we do is the thing that we've sort of pushed is we want to be a music blog on the radio. So we do a lot of, hey, if you like the Decemberists, check out Tarkeo. And, if you if you listen to the Kings of Leon, you should check out the new Kills album, and that kind of thing. And so it's a lot of suggestion-based stuff, which is why people go to blogs.
You also did a lot of work with the Granada, I think, because I see you advertising all the time for bands maybe coming there. Or
We have a really strong relationship with the Granada. The Nate, who's the head of marketing over there, he loves us and we love him, and basically he sees the value in our station, and obviously there's value with us.
Well, yeah, because I mean they're a huge they're not the biggest area to play music, but they're a nice venue that has a lot of independent bands playing here in the Dallas area.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely, and I mean it's a mutually beneficial relationship. Yeah. So yeah, he actually just sent me a Twitter message saying every now and then he'll randomly ask people, hey, are you listening to Indieverse? And we'll get all of these responses. And I sent him a message saying, dude, you need to cool out. People are going to start thinking we're dating. So.
Okay. Do you see yourself, with the way you started Hypeworthy, do you see yourself working more with music in the future now, or are you still going to work yourself around? Or, has this even changed what your idea, what you want to do for a future career is?
Maybe. I don't know. It's kind of, I've basically, I'm also in grad school, so I've kind of given myself that amount of time in order to figure out where exactly all of this is going. So, obviously I have a lot more musical connections now than I did before I started working in radio. But, I don't know. Hypeworthy will become whatever it is supposed to become, I think. And, I think that the strategies are the same if you're dealing with Interstate Batteries or if you're dealing with Michael Urie on Ugly Betty. It's just, what do I choose? What I choose to work with.
Yeah.
So. Okay. That's why I started the radio thing, because it's kind of like an actor. It's kind of like a musician. So that's how that kind of started, and now it'll go wherever it's supposed to go.
Okay. So. Sounds cool. And before we head off, like I said, one of the parts of this show is it's happy hour discussion. Mm-hmm. I figure sometimes you get the most open discussion when you're actually maybe sitting down, just comfortable having a drink. Right. What's your choice of drink today?
Right now I am drinking Redbreast. Which is an Irish whiskey that is a hell of a lot smoother than Jameson and a lot better.
Okay.
Redbreast. I usually drink either Irish whiskey or bourbon.
Okay.
So
I'm
what
drinking.
Are you drinking?
Jack and Coke. I actually normally my choice of mixed drinks is usually vodka tonic, but I still like a Jack and Coke every once in a while.
Gotcha. Way to go out on a limb, though.
I try.
Awesome.
But so this has been Spirits. If they want to follow you, maybe know a little bit more about you, do you want to let them know where they can find you?
Sure. Yeah. I'm on Twitter. You can find me at Dr. Nico Martini. You can also go to indie-verse.com, or you can go to hypeworthy.net, and that's basically where I am.
Indieverse has a Twitter also, doesn't it?
Yes, Indieverse's Twitter is Indieverse.
Okay.
The website is indie-verse. The Twitter is Indieverse.
Okay.
So yeah.
Thank you, Nico. And my name is Kyle Condis again. I'm your host, and I'm also, if you want to follow me, I'm at Kyle 1.0. That's Kyle 1 point spelled out POINT 0. Twitter, and also you can follow our Twitter, which is spirits_WWB. That's where we'll basically keep you on tabs of upcoming episodes, and also guests coming up, and we hope to catch you guys next time. Thanks. Peace.